And welcome to Coffee with My Sunshine. Today we're going to be working on a bunch of trash to treasure DIYs, so let's get started. For the first one, this is my inspiration piece that I saw online. It was actually metal, but I thought we could use cardboard to make something similar. So I like to use the cardboard that comes with the candles that I always tell you about. They have these really cool inserts that are super sturdy pieces of cardboard. And that's what we're going to be using today. And also save the box if you guys get these candles. I know a bunch of you guys order them, but save the box because it's super sturdy, and we're going to be doing something with that in an upcoming DIY video. But for this one, all I did was draw out a flower petal, and I know the inspiration piece had more of a curved top of the petal, but I wanted to do pointy, so that's what I'm doing. So I just drew one out, cut it out, and then used that as my template, and then just made a bunch of them. And you can make as many as you want depending on how full you want your flower, and make it any size you want. You could go really big with this one. And then when you're done cutting out the petals, you want to bend them. You're giving it kind of like a galvanized metal look. I did a video on this, I think last year or the year before, where I did a birdhouse with a galvanized tin roof made from cardboard, and I'll link that above if you want to see how I did that. So then after you're done with the bigger size petals, you're going to make two smaller ones, and then do the same thing and just cut them out. Make a bunch of them. That's kind of the size difference that mine were. After you do that, you want to do the same thing where you give the petals the texture by folding it. Then you're going to want to cut out a circle for the base. And for the metal look, we're going to use some aluminum foil, and I like to put the duller side out, but it doesn't really matter, I don't think. And then you can use any glue. I prefer Elmer's, but I'm sure you could get away with using spray adhesive or glue stick. I'm not sure, I never tried it, but Elmer's works great. It's super cheap. You can get that at the dollar store. And you can just put it all over the foil or just on the cardboard and attach it to the foil however you want. Just make sure you have a really good amount of glue. So I did it both on the foil and the leaf. And make sure you get it really good into those grooves because you want it to stick really, really well. And then just do that for all of your leaves or petals. And I have a few of these videos coming up soon, because I know you guys always really like the trash to treasure, where I'm actually using recycled items or trash or garbage to make these DIYs. So then you want to rub on the foil to bring out the texture from the cardboard. You can use your fingers. I ended up using a sponge, which worked really, really well. And then just cut them out. Super easy. And then if you want to kind of cover up the edges, you can paint those black or silver to match the metal look. And then I just used some hot glue to attach each petal to that base circle. I kind of laid them out just to make sure that it wasn't going to be messed up when I was gluing it, so that there wasn't like a gap. So I always ask, because I love to hear what you guys make. What do you guys make from recycled pieces or garbage? What kind of DIYs do you make? Then after the first layer of the petals are glued down, I just use some black paint And I got really good into the grooves because that's where I want the paint to actually sit darker than, you know, the raised edges. And then I just took a dry sponge and brushed over it. You can go either direction. I think it just gives it, you know, some worn textured look like old metal would have. I'll show you here in a second up close. And then I just did that to the rest of the petals, and then we are going to add another layer of the petals on top. Also, at the end of the video, I'm going to have an update on our sweet Bella, our dog. A bunch of you have been messaging me and sending sweet prayers and love and just asking how she's been doing since her surgery. So I will give you an update on that because some things had changed since I talked to you guys last. So then you just attach the next size of petals, and you want to attach them so that the petals are a little bit closer to the inside than the first layer of petals, and then when you do the smaller petals, you want to put them more towards the center than the last layer. So essentially you're making the center smaller each time. But this is what it looks like so far. I think it looks awesome and like really rustic metal. You can also bend up the petals like I'm doing here. It just gives it more dimension and interest, I think. And you can also paint the back too. Then for the center, I just cut out a smaller circle and created those grooves, and then also folded up the edges just so it was raised a little bit. And I'm also using this half wood round for the center. And I'm using this copper color just to kind of match the inspiration piece. And plus I think it's really, really pretty. The camera does not show how like shiny metal-y this looks. It's one of my favorite metallic colors. And then I just painted the wood around the same color. And then attached both of them with hot glue. Oh, let me know in the comments, do you guys like shorter videos? I know I've asked this before, but I've been getting more subscribers, so I kind of want to know what everybody thinks. But do you guys like shorter videos with less DIYs or longer videos with more DIYs? Oh, and then I just added a little bit of black paint just to get it to kind of match the petals and make it a little bit more rustic. But I'm super happy with how it turned out, and with it hanging on the wall, nobody would ever know that it was cardboard. So let me know what you guys think of this one. For our second DIY, you're going to need some sort of bottle. I'm using this fabric softener bottle, and I found a trick. If you fill up the bottle with really hot water and let it sit for a minute, like shake it up, it really warms up the plastic and makes it super easy to cut. Except for the handle. I didn't get that filled with hot water. And I saw this, an inspiration picture on Pinterest where she had done the same thing, but when I clicked on the link, it did not take me to that site. It took me to something else. So I don't want to link that for you guys. I'm not sure what kind of site it was. So, but I did find it on Pinterest. I'll try and link in the description box at least the description they had, if I can find it again, just so you can see the inspiration piece, because it was really pretty. She actually did rounded edges where I'm doing, you know, the more pointy ones. But then I ended up making it straight across because the flower or the plant that I was using was the succulent, which was pointy as well, and I thought it would look kind of dumb. So I ended up just cutting it straight across again, and then using this white spray paint just as a primer first to cover up the gang logo. And here it is white, super pretty, but I love the bright green inside. I thought that was super cool. Then I just coated then I just coated it with this really pretty yellow paint. Sorry, I thought I showed the color. I will link that or put it up in the corner here if I remember. Then I just filled it with the dirt and put my plant in, but I thought this was really cool because the handle is actually used to water the plant. Like, that's where you would put the water. That way you're not pouring it over the plant, and it just keeps the bottom part of the soil moist. And I thought that was brilliant. I think it's so cute. Obviously you can smooth out your cut edges better than I did with like an iron or something. For this next one, I'm using crepe paper, which I've never done before, but I got a whole box from a garage sale that my mom and I went to the other day. And you're also going to need some sort of bottle, like a wine bottle or vodka bottle. But when I started opening that crepe paper, I had no idea it was so, like, there was so much there. It just kept going and going. But anyway, I started cutting long strips and then cutting it into thirds because I wanted to braid them and then wrap that around the bottle, because I've seen bottles like that at thrift stores and stuff, but they're kind of expensive. So I thought I would make my own. And I'm just using hot glue. You can use whatever type of glue that works best for you. And then I just used hot glue all the way around. I didn't want there to be any gaps without the glue because I didn't want it to like pucker funny or lift up. And then I just kept doing the same thing until I hit the bottom of the bottle. But I think it turned out so pretty. I love the color and the texture it added. Let me know what kind of projects you guys use with crepe paper, because like I said, I'm new to it, so I would love to look up some ideas and hear what you guys use it for. For this next one, it's not going to be for everybody, but I thought it was going to be perfect for using in our camper. You could also use these in like a small pantry or something, but you're just going to take some baby food jars and paint the lids whatever color you want. I'm painting them white because I want to write on the top, but I thought these would be perfect to take camping with spices in them, because then they're just easy to tuck away and, you know, the moisture is going to stay out of them. So I just filled mine with garlic, onion flakes, and one of my favorite seasonings from Trader Joe's, which is the chili lime seasoning. If you haven't tried it, pick it up next time you're there. So good. But these would be super cute to organize your pantry too if you have a small pantry. And that's it, super simple. Then I just wrote on the top what each jar was filled with. Sorry for the handwriting, it's kind of sloppy. It's hard to write on the lids. And then I just took one of the containers. I think I got them at Walmart. You get like a stack of them. But I thought it would be perfect to hold everything together. And then I just added salt and pepper. So like I said, not for everybody, but I thought it was super cute. And it'll work great for us when we go camping. For this next one, you're going to use rusty mason jar lids. Ones that you wouldn't use for like canning or anything. And I'm also using these wood rounds that I got from a garage sale. They'd probably be better if I used ones that fit better into the lids, which they have them, but I'm just using what I have today. And then I wanted to spray these flat black, but as you can see here, the black was just not working for me. It was clogging really bad, which I don't have a lot of good luck with flat spray paint. It always seems to get clogged halfway through the bottle. So I am just going with this glossy. You know, gotta change directions when it doesn't work out for you. Sorry it's so bright. It was super sunny out, so I couldn't get a good angle. But I just love watching spray paint in videos. Am I weird? It's just kind of like watching fire to me, or like watching a waterfall. Do you guys like watching spray paint? So then as those were drying, I took the wood rounds and covered some of them with paint and covered some of them with tape. I can't talk today. Because I wanted to do kind of like a more modern look. So I wanted to do like color blocking, like do some of them this antique wax color, black, white. So I just made sure the tape was pushed down really, really well and started applying the wax. And I found if I started the paint out a little bit further from the tape just to get, you know, the bulk of the wax or the paint off my brush, that it didn't bleed under the paint as much. I still got a little bit of bleed through on one of them. You could use a sponge too. That usually helps when I'm doing like stencils and stuff, to use a sponge, because then it doesn't seem to bleed underneath the tape or the stencil. Then I just took a piece of paper towel and wiped off the excess. Then using some white, I'm going to do the other side that I left blank, but I wanted to put more tape down because I can't draw or paint a straight line to save my life. Do you guys like watching people paint too, like just regular like brush paint? And then I did the same thing with the black. I love these wood round pieces. I got a bunch of little like wood crafting pieces in this bag from the garage sale, so I'm excited to use them in something. Do you guys have a good stash of wood rounds before I start doing videos on that? I would like to do videos on stuff that you guys have in your stash. So if you want to leave that in the comments below too, like what are like some things that you want to use up in your stash that you'd like to see videos on? And then after the paint dries, make sure to put a good like sealant on there. I'm using Mod Podge, and since you're going to be putting like cups and stuff on there, you want to make sure it's the kind that can get wet, like dishwasher safe Mod Podge or whatever kind of sealant you're used to using. Just because you don't want it to bubble up and stuff when you put a wet cup on there, because we're making coasters. I don't know if I said that. I'll show you here in a second. Here they are all dry, and the lids are dry too, and I'm just going to attach them. I'm just kind of playing around with how I want them to look, because like I said, the wood rounds don't fit perfectly into the lids, so I was just kind of playing around with different ways. You could also attach some little felt pieces on the bottom, like strips, but I'm attaching mine with hot glue. You might want to use something more permanent, like a Gorilla Glue, or maybe, I don't know how well a E6000 would work, but something more permanent. But I thought these were super fun and unique. I don't see a bunch of coasters like this, and plus I wanted to use up my little mason jar lids. I have a couple other ideas as well. And I just grabbed another one too. This is one I didn't spray paint, I just left it silver. I have a whole bunch of these rings and, you know, the little ring inserts that have rusted out, and I need to get new ones before the canning season. But I'm really happy with how they turned out. I think they're really pretty. Let me know what you guys think. For the next one, it's going to be super simple. I'm just using this milk bottle. I just love the shape of it. First, you want to make sure when you have the lid on that you keep the dots. We're making like a little watering can. Keep the dots inside the edge of the mouth of the milk jar, or whatever kind of jar or bottle you're using. And then just draw the dots where you want the little holes to be, and then I'm just drilling holes where I put my dots. I would probably do bigger holes next time, because this size, it worked really well because you can kind of control how fast the water comes out, because you kind of have to squeeze it. I'll show you here in a second. But then for the bottle, I didn't do anything to it. I didn't paint it or anything because I thought it was really pretty, just left clear. I did wash it out, but but I'll show you how it worked here in a second. Let's see, if you don't squeeze it, it just kind of dribbles out, but if you squeeze it, it's more like a sprinkler or watering can. But super cheap and really cute. For this last one, we are using nail polish bottles. I have a bunch that have gone bad, and they've dried up, or they're just super goopy. So first, I'm just taking the labels off. So I got all the labels off, and now we're not going to need this. We're just going to need the cute little bottles, and for the most part they're all like this. Okay, sorry about that, my camera died. But as I was saying, we won't need this, and for the most part all the nail polishes are dried up, but if they're not, you can go ahead and rinse them out. I don't know if you remember a few years back, I used nail polish lids as like little knobs or handles. So don't throw these away because you can also use them for other projects. And some of them are kind of cool. Some of them are boring, but I'll link that video up above if you want to see how I used that. I think it was last year. But we have all the labels off, so let's go give them a coat of paint. So I'm taking 3 of them and painting them this color. It's Twig. It's the plutonium paint, and I love this paint. It dries so fast to where like you can pick them up in like 10 minutes. But I wanted to go with more neutral colors because I thought that would be really pretty for what we're doing. We're doing like little mini vases, which would be perfect in a bathroom, or if you have an apartment, you'll only have like a little tiny windowsill or whatever. I just thought they were super cute. And then I did try and paint the other 2 another plutonium color, but it was just too sheer, so I'm putting down a white coat first and then doing the color over it. It's more of like a sandy color. I'll look at the name and put it up on the screen because I forgot to show you. And with sticking with the trash to treasure theme, this is just a piece of our crown molding that we are going to be putting up in our kitchen. This is just a sample piece, so I'm going to use it because it's basically garbage. But I liked this side, even though this side is, you know, what you would put up in your kitchen, but nothing would sit on there. So I'm thinking I like this side, and it's already like roughed up a little bit and, you know, a little bit vintagey farmhouse. So I'm going to use that as the little stand. And I thought these would be really cute to just put on here as little like vases. I mean, how cute. Don't you just love the colors? And then these, I'm sure you guys have all seen these. They are from Walmart. They're one of my favorite faux greenery pieces. And I believe they're 97 cents, but I thought this would be really cute just displayed in the little bottles. And you could alternate and do different, you know, little sprigs or greenery. So for everybody that was asking for an update on Bella and sending sweet prayers and messages, she is recovering from surgery really well. It's been about a week and a half now. Originally we were told it was a CCL tear, but after looking at the x-rays with our vet, he did find out that it was osteosarcoma, which is a cancer. It's a very aggressive cancer in dogs. So we ended up having to get her leg amputated, which she is doing really well, as you can see, and she's doing all the same things that she used to. She's just kind of learning how to be tripod now. And as far as the biopsy, they did say that they were positive, and it was good news because they couldn't find any in the lymph nodes, any of the cancer, which is good, and also in the CT scan, they didn't find any anywhere else in her body, so that's good as well. We're hoping that we caught it in time, but we're just going to let her live her best life. Amputating the leg removed the pain from the bone cancer, so that's good. But yeah, we're just going to love her and snuggle her for as long as we can. But she is happy and getting back to normal quickly. So thank you guys so much for all your love and support and your well wishes for Bella. It really does mean a lot to me and my family. I hope you're having a great day. Thanks so much, and I'll see you next time. Bye!